What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Big things are happening with Tesla and we definitely got some new leaks and also new rumors and more stuff with the car company, especially how there's always brand new stuff coming in on a daily basis. And right now we're getting a lot of brand new photographs of the Model S refresh 2021. A lot of these leaked images are pretty nice since we aren't really getting any sort of like official gallery from Tesla for the Model S refresh. We only get like small snippets here and there, but overall just keep in mind that the car does look very similar to the previous generations. It's not like a complete redesign. It's called a refresh for a reason. Small tweaks here and there to make the car look really good. And we also will be talking about the Tesla Model S and Model X Tilde, Netherlands plant and what's going on over there. This is another like really big Tesla production plant that most people don't really talk about. It was opened back in 2013 and now it's finally shutting down. There's now a lot of speculation about what this plant could be used for in the future because Tesla is not completely giving up on the Tilde plant. They seem to want to be doing other things with it. Now let's talk about the Model S refresh 2021. There's several photos that were actually snapped by Reddit user u/Okino, who took several of these pics of the interior and the exterior design. And I gotta tell you, it looks pretty phenomenal. Looks absolutely different from the original renders that Tesla put out. But overall, if you look at it first glance, it just looks like a regular Tesla Model S 2020 version or 2019 version. Most of the upgrades are in the interior design section, with the exterior remaining somewhat the same. Interestingly, this Model S shows a round regular steering wheel because this is not the Plaid model. If you guys want the Plaid model, you're gonna be having to shell out a lot more money. Plaid and Plaid Plus are the ones that will be getting the yoke steering wheel. And there's a lot of pre-orders of the Model S refresh that are mostly just the cheapest version of the Model S, the regular long-range model, because no one can really spend six figures on a car. Also, most individuals aren't super big fans of the yoke steering wheel. The yoke steering wheel essentially looks like an F1 race car steering wheel, which is kind of appropriate for the Plaid versions because they're extremely fast. And the exterior, once again, remains somewhat the same as previous builds. There are some minor changes here and there. For example, the side sensors are a lot bigger. There's also a rear diffuser placed under the body. This way it will increase the aerodynamics. In the very front of the car, you can clearly see it's a lot less dented in on the bottom. It's a lot more smooth, a lot more minimalist. Not that much has happened for Tesla. Now, the front of the car, slightly different. Not that much. It's almost indistinguishable, but it looks a lot better. I think Tesla's trying to smooth out the sides and the front just to make things a lot more minimalist looking. Also, with this better aerodynamic performance, you should be seeing longer battery, better performance, etc. Major updates are mostly in the interior of the car. There's only one photo of the interior of the car and it looks pretty dope. There's a new horizontal screen. It dominates the front display. It looks really good. It looks a lot thinner, and it's a lot higher as well. I kind of prefer this a lot more. And there's also a lot of talk about how the display is slightly turned to the left. This way, the driver can have a much better view of the screen. So that's something to keep in mind. Tesla also added some pretty nice cup holders and also pretty nice control systems in the vehicles. But other than that, I mean, everything stays the same as before. Keep in mind that this is a refresh version, so not that much is happening. We're not really seeing any news or rumors and pictures of the Model X. I think Model X just hasn't really been delivered. I've seen no news, no talk about the Model X. I think a lot of people will be pretty interested of the Model X variant. There also is a Model X refresh, by the way. And I'm really curious to see what it looks like in real life, but currently, no one has found a refreshed Model X, but we should be seeing more leaks and more rumors about the X sometime soon. If you guys like the X, definitely comment below. I feel like the Model S looks really nice. Not a super big fan of the wheels, but obviously you can upgrade to the better looking ones. And overall, I feel like the car, it just looks very similar to the previous generation. If you guys don't want to spend $80,000, feel free to check out the Tesla used section. There are some really nice 2017, 2018 used Model S's that look very similar to this model. And in my opinion, they're probably just as good and they're way cheaper, like $60,000, $50,000. I feel like that's a really good price compared to these cars, which are like 80,000 bucks, and it's not cheap at all. And last but not least, let's talk about the Tilde plant. I feel like a lot of people are pretty interested about this, and most people don't really talk about this 2013 Tilde Netherlands plant that specifically produces the Model S and the Model X for the European area. Now, this was opened several years ago. It's like a 19,000 square meter facility. It's pretty big. It mostly makes the Model S and the Model X, whereas the Berlin Gigafactory that's being set up right now is mostly producing the Model Y, the Model 3, the more budget-friendly cars, and also a massive battery plant. The company actually chose this area because it was actually pretty accessible. It's pretty much a good place for cost-effective operations, and it's centrally located, which is great. And the Model S, Model X, they kept pumping these cars out from the facility, but now, because of the current refresh designs, if you check out the S and the X, you probably notice the interiors are totally different. And when the interiors are totally different, you have to do a massive renovation of their plant. And if your plant is not big enough or not important enough, and you got this like big refresh going on, it's almost like not even worth it to renovate the whole entire plant. I mean, I'm pretty sure Tesla has calculated the cost about how much money it will take to renovate the Tilde plant. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, screw it. We're not gonna update the plant. We might just be shutting this down. And factory personnel were briefed on the situation around Thursday, and a lot of people were pretty much laid off, but I feel like Tesla will be trying to find other positions for the 96% of the employees that will be displaced during this closure. Because a lot of these employees are pretty experienced. They worked at Tesla for years, and they're engineers, they're designers, etc. According to the other reports, Tesla is trying to find positions for these employees, perhaps in other gigafactories or in other smaller settings around Europe. I think that's pretty cool as well. And so far, the Tilde plant is now officially closed. Now, there's still 4% employees in there. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but we could be seeing like a pretty big mass repurposing of the facility to make it very, very different. I'm not really sure what they'll be doing, but we could be seeing maybe a supercharger network facility. I mean, if you check out the Shanghai Gigafactory and what's right next to it, they actually make a facility that only makes the Tesla superchargers. 10,000 superchargers per year. We could be seeing something like that for the Tilburg facility. Then again, we also could be seeing battery production for Tilburg, but I'll be really excited to see if they could somehow make it useful, like maybe supercharger facility, battery facility, or maybe even like the Tesla Model 2. There's some rumors out there saying how with the Tesla Model 2, this $25,000 Tesla coming out super soon, it will be launched in China first, but once it starts launching in Europe, the Tilburg facility could be used for the production of the brand new model. Who knows? Really interesting stuff are coming in. Lastly, we should be seeing more information coming in about the Cybertruck and also the other gigafactories under construction, because we're slowly nearing like the summertime. A lot of these gigafactories like Austin and also like Shanghai Gigafactory 2, a lot of these are already like fully operational or already under construction, almost done. We're also getting more leaks and rumors about the Tesla Semi, who is pre-ordering the vehicles, what's going to happen with the cars, and also the autopilot, etc. So a lot of big things are coming in for the car company. It's super different. They're also trying to get a bunch of contracts for their mega pack department. That's also pretty interesting. So definitely stay tuned, subscribe for more daily videos.